Westcast.
Network. Now fix to start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares are the best part of my day. The goods from the wood.
Hot damn.
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley. Pat Riley.
Let's look at that man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
And it's Christmas time.
That's right. It's the
at Disgraceland. We're celebrating Christmas.
We're decking the halls. We got tinsel. We got neighbor Frank here.
We got mistletoe right here, you understand? Because I smoked that shit like it was crack.
Mistletoe is poisonous, right?
That might explain a lot of things. Hallucinations.
Or if the line from Batman Returns is to be believed. You know, mistletoe is poisonous if you eat it.
But a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it.
Yeah, I don't really take, like, health advice from
Catwoman?
Yeah, or the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Chicks do dig the car, though. There's no doubt about that. Because I pull in mad ass in my Crown Victoria, you understand? It's got a CB in it. And a Renoir. I have a Renoir. Y'all hear that? You think Santa could be coming?
Have you checked NORAD yet, Rivers? If that's...
No, they added 2 fighter jets accompanying Santa this year.
Really?
Yeah, two F-22 Raptors are flying alongside Santa for no reason, just because I guess
they need to use the Blue Angels jets for something now.
Santa's got stealth, though. He's got stealth reindeer on there. Rudolph's nose has stealth properties that we don't even know. The elves can develop stealth things like that. They can develop cloaking devices and shit. Because can we say this right now? Point I got to make. How much copyright infringement is Santa guilty of? Because it's not like the old days when kids are getting wooden horses and shit. Yeah. Kids get brand name toys nowadays. And if those are coming from Santa, either he's getting them from wholesalers, so those elves are out of work, or he's having the elves...
Or he's outsourcing them?
Yeah, or blatantly disregard copyright.
Yeah, he's...
Or maybe the toy companies is outsourcing to the elves.
Yeah, they might be. Like, it might be, you know, so they move industrial capital all around the world and stuff like that.
And what's cheaper than elf labor? Nothing.
Exactly. There's nothing cheaper than elf labor.
What do you even pay elves in?
I don't
Candy
know.
canes?
I mean, I'm not sure they get paid.
Apples?
I'm not sure they have, you know, any kind of freedom in that situation. I mean,
They probably don't. Santa, 13th Amendment, look into it. Is Santa an American? I don't think he is.
No, I think he's Norwegian.
Some kind of foreigner. Well, God.
Greenland.
But they're all atheists. No wonder Santa is trying to secularize Christmas.
I mean, Sinterklaas is Dutch.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the precursor to the modern Santa Claus.
I got that question at Nerd Fight the other night.
Really?
I was sitting in the audience, and they nobody on stage knew. Somebody said German. I was like, come on, man.
I would have answered that.
Yeah, it's at the Netherlands, yo.
Yeah.
I was once told that if Santa's sleigh actually traveled fast enough to deliver a present to every child on Earth, it would actually set the atmosphere on fire. That amount of friction would just catch the entire world on fire.
But see, that's why some children are naughty, and in their own way, it's like a yin and a yang thing. We need the naughty.
You have to have a naughty list.
They're
otherwise
defending the world. They really
burns.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Santa really only makes sense in a village type of setting. I mean, no matter how fast he works, only a few hundred kids are getting presents that night, not kids all over the
There
world.
might be
Don't
kids
tell me time
listening.
zone differences.
Frank, the wisest thing you can do right now is not say nothing, because there could be kids. It reminds me of a song. Perhaps you've heard it, Rivers. Santa is real, working on Christmas. You can see him and hear him on your roof every year. You remember this?
Yeah.
It was from that Christmas album.
Yeah.
Called Put the Christ Back in This Thing, goddammit.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is the Mass of Christ. Let's just be honest about that.
I was an altar boy when I was for a short time as a kid, and I did one Christmas mass, and I had to hang up my vestments after that because that's a marathon.
You lost.
Oh, yeah. Well, was it the Christmas Vigil Mass, like the one before Christmas Eve?
I did the Vigil Mass, and oh my God, that was 3 hours because I was the big one. I was the big altar boy. I was number one in the pecking order just because I was the largest. so I could carry the cross. So I stood in the middle, which meant I was.
They made you carry
the head
the cross?
Yeah, because it's
not on his back.
Not on his
him.
back. It's not like I got whipped, but it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, on the other two were who? The two thieves or something? They're going to crucify them all in the middle of the mass?
Kill Barabbas. Kill Barabbas.
But there was no. You had two younger two of the smaller altar boys or altar girls carrying candles. So since I was the only one that could carry the cross staff the length of the aisleway, I was technically the head altar boy. And also part of the head altar boy is that you had to hold the book. You had to hold the lectern, and that friggin' thing was huge.
Wait, so you were a human podium?
I was a human podium. I was a pack mule. When they had the
this sounds abusive.
Like one of Marius's mules.
When they had to throw the holy water.
Yeah.
There was the little holy water stick.
You had to hold the super soaker.
I had to hold the bucket. So I had to hold this like spittoon looking thing filled with holy water. So I have water all over me. When they
Wet
had
and wild.
Yeah, when they had the incense, when they were burning
the smells and the bells, you understand.
I had to walk behind the priest with that. It was a tough gig. And
Well, be glad it wasn't the Easter Vigil, because I went to one of them.
I did Easter too.
Easter Vigil is the equivalent in length of dying for 3 days, descending into hell, and then raising again from the dead.
Imagine when you're
it's that
sitting
long.
up front and you can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
You can't play with your Game Boy. You got to sit there.
Well, maybe if you put a Game Boy under the vestments and you just duck your head.
No, you actually couldn't, because it was like a crew neck, so I couldn't like stick my head.
Oh, they're gonna come
there.
up with one for the Altar Boy or something, the Nintendo Altar Boy, when you can secretly play in mass.
Based on this description, Catholicism should be an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Well, it is,
That's
because
a
they
feat
could
of
have
strength.
they could have 3 events: standing, sitting, and kneeling.
Yeah.
Right there. That's
Beat the shit out of the
triathlon.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It'll beat the shit out of modern pentathlon.
Well, it's
which I
definitely
don't
better
know
than
why.
the biathlon, which is just snowshoeing and guns.
Well,
I thought
modern
of that as something else.
pentathlon, which is
it has guns in it, so that's cool. I have boycotting the Olympics until they put boomerang throwing in it, because if they can have skateboarding or snowboarding or whatever it is, X Games shit, they can have boomerang throwing.
the Australians would just clean up every year. It's kind of like when they had.
well,
We clean up every year since they let professionals in on the Dream Team thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I was
they need
gonna-
their spot too.
I think an American team made up of like people in the lot at Fish would do pretty well with the boomerang event.
We can have hacky sacks
They
in it
can,
too.
dude. People that can hacky can definitely boomerang.
It could be instead of having the modern pentathlon of swimming, running, all that other horse riding, fencing, and shooting, they could have the crunchy pentathlon of hacky sack, boomerang,
throwing the frisbee at the dog.
cornhole, and
Seeing who can say "dude" the longest.
Yeah.
Drag it on for the most syllables.
and who could it's like a marathon. Who could play the entirety of the
You enjoy myself intro.
Yeah, exactly. And then they could have another event of who could withstand watching it. Neighbor Frank, have you set it up the posts on top of the roof for you to watch if Santa's coming?
Of course, yeah. I usually
Okay.
set those
Like
up.
a duck blind.
Yeah.
On the roof of Disgraceland.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know when Clement Clark Moore wrote the poem The Night Before Christmas, or whatever it was originally called?
Twas.
A visit from Saint Nick, I believe.
A Visit from St. Nick, yeah. So supposedly that helped shift the emphasis from Christmas Day to Christmas Eve, which solved the problem back in those days because the Protestants were suspicious about the rise of the Catholic popularity of Christmas, supposedly. And Christmas Eve kind of
that's true.
shot it right down the middle, so there was your cop-out.
Because Protestants, especially like in the Puritan days and all that, was big on non-celebration of holidays like that. It was considered like a legacy of Catholicism,
And
and
then there
thus a
was
legacy
that
of paganism.
long-standing suspicion that if the Catholics got into power, the Pope would become president, which would be...
That happened, right? Oh,
What, the Pope became president?
Yeah, didn't
No,
that
if
happen?
Catholics got into power, they just lead us down the path they led us in the Cold War. But that's another story for another time. We're getting very theological tonight, and what better time, of course, than Christmas, which defies all theological explanation. Because it's really just a Christianization of a Roman holiday. And being a descendant of the Romans myself, it's really the Romanness that I appreciate. Because it gives people something to do during a miserable time of the year when the days are too short.
This is true.
Which is why they should never get rid of Christmas.
Is there any threat of that happening?
According to Fox News, is. They say there's a war on it every year, and I guess that's why they have them jet fighters defending Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that war on Christmas, you
It's a
understand?
goddamn war. Got to have 2 jet fighters. I was raised in a very non-religious household, but my mom enjoys like choir singing.
Yeah.
So on Christmas, one year I went to, I think it was like the Presbyterian church because my mom wanted to hear the choir. And
want to hear the choir.
at the end of it, and I actually don't remember this. This is just something my mom reminded me of. Everybody started saying the Lord's Prayer, and I just turned to her and I was like, "What's going on? Why does everyone know this?"
Oh, but lucky he wasn't Catholic.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be like, why do they have a longer bit at the
An
end?
extra few words at the end.
Oh, or the Nicene Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting that confused
that's
with
one
with the
that I could-
Apostles' Creed, you understand?
The Nicene Creed, for the longest time, I knew that word for word. And my family wasn't even that
Well, no,
religious.
that's the thing.
I was an altar boy just so that I could get photos taken to send to my grandparents.
Y'all don't even have to be religious. Revels, I don't know if you've never been to Catholic Mass. It is the same fucking thing every week. It's like a Brady Bunch rerun.
Well, no,
so
it's
if
not
y'all
just-
even quasi-religious, you've heard the entire ceremony a billion times by the time y'all 6.
The first year, it's novel. But the next year, it's the same thing.
Well, yeah,
you know?
because they go through like a cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are certain things that are said at every Mass. This is my body, which will be shed for you and for all, so that sins may be forgiven and all that. And it's in
Let
every
us
Mass.
proclaim the mystery of faith.
Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again. Rivers is starting to think this is a conspiracy.
This is so fucked up.
I had a priest once that wanted to be a lounge singer. It was like, Christ just died. Yeah. Christ is risen. Hey,
Hey, you looking
Christ
good in the
will
back
come
there,
again.
baby.
Yeah.
You doing okay with the Rivers?
My first, my
Catholicism is great because it keeps the legacy of medieval philosophy alive.
Well, my thoughts during that turn to, as they so often do, the immortal Vincent Price classic, Mask of the Red Death, where he just says, "Dare I reveal the horrible rites and incantations?"
It is very pitting a pendulum in its own way.
Yeah.
Except the secret is it's actually really fucking boring. And it stinks since they took it out of Latin. Even though, let's be honest, it was bad Latin. It was not the Latin of Virgil, you understand? But still, it was still better than Latin because that's still a more civilized language.
But
than
then
these
again, you
devolved
had
tongues.
to look at the priest back the entire time. It was like being at an Emerson, Lake and Palmer concert, seeing the dude on just the dude's back the entire
Keith
time.
Richards could play with his back turned and make it look like cool.
I
like
ain't
he
never
was
met
an
a
asshole.
priest that's like Keith Richards. Not even
He
the
was
ones
just
that are
playing on
my
the drum.
friends
Oh,
of
y'all
my
should have Italian
grandparents.
priests because they smoke about as much as Keith Richards.
Yeah. Oh my.
They smoke when they're up there. You think that's incense? No, he's just smoking
Well,
in Chesterfield.
Well,
You
I
understand?
have clergy in my family. Like, you know, not my family that's alive now, but like my grandmother and grandfather, like their family that surrounded them. There were some nuns and some priests and stuff like that, and they were characters. They were.
Well, you have to be. That
who-
lifestyle will do it to you.
Yeah.
It's
they
not
were
like
hoot.
it's, Sicily or Mexico in old days when the village priest was like such an honorable position that you were providing a
Hey,
valuable
there's
service
nothing
to the
more
community.
honorable though when the priest comes by to watch the Notre Dame game with you at your house.
I
That
don't
was
it.
like,
Rose, you might not like us, but I was so happy when Bama kicked their ass because I do
Yeah.
not like Catholic schools, so I was just rooting for Bama all the way. And it
So-
was satisfying.
So you mentioned your mom really being into choral music.
Yeah.
For
She likes the trappings of church, just not the church part. I think.
What we'll talk about Christmas music because
why
that's
not?
such a bittersweet element of the holiday because it can be really good, it can be really bad, or it can be so bad that it's
Sleigh bells
lovely.
ring.
It's great.
Are you listening?
There's an argument to be made for the saddest Christmas song ever.
Okay.
And
Besides all of them.
besides all of them, I mean, ultimately there is a great deal of melancholy involved in every Christmas song.
Okay.
But like I think a lot of people will land on "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" because that one, if you're like at the grocery store on Christmas Eve when you just moved to LA, for instance,
I'd have given you a hug if I was there. Rivers.
it could take a toll. That one's
If
pretty.
you need a hug, you call me up. Because I dispense hugs, I guess, especially to women. If you're listening, I live on Sepulveda, so if you're on West Side and you want a hug or anything more, you call Goodnight day or night, honey.
So what do you think is?
Little Billy's Christmas Wish by Red Sylvan.
What's the story with that one?
Well, it's about a young boy whose mama takes up with a man named Mr. Brown, who just
Parson Brown of Winter
no.
Wonderland
This
fame?
Mr. Brown just cusses and drinks beer all day.
And it's a story because it's Red Sylvan, so it's a long story.
Exactly. It starts out ho ho ho, said the fat man. Because see, it's just Christmas. It's like this dime store Santa, and then this little boy that's been kicked out of his house by his drunk stepdaddy comes up, and he tells him about how bad everything's been, and he's like, "I've been sleeping in cars that I find, so I guess that makes me a bad boy," and how he never had no Christmas stuff. You know, and it's like, but gee, Santa, you're the grandest in all the land. I bet you know God. And then it's like, can I just ride in the sleigh with you and meet Jesus? Because I heard that he lives in heaven. And then at the end of the song, he dies in front of all the other kids.
Santa quickly felt for the little boy's pulse. Someone please get a doctor, he said. But when the ambulance took little Billy away, everyone knew he was dead.
The kid dies on Santa's lap. And is Santa gonna say,
now kids, don't be sad for Billy, 'cause he just went to heaven today. He wanted to go and live with God, so now everything's all right. Let thoughts of Billy make your hearts be kind, and I'll see you all Christmas Eve night. Merry Christmas, everybody.
you know, remember little Billy, you know, every year on Christmas. You know, Merry Christmas, everyone.
What a shitty Christmas.
Look, Red does not give it to you easy. Red gives it to you hard, you understand?
That is awful.
That is wonderful, actually. I love it. Oh, that sounds like the sleigh coming. All you good girls and boys, get in bed, and you good girls, you call me. Naughty ones, you call me too, because I got something much better than coal. You get your stockings ready for Mr. Goodnight. You understand? Man, it's hard to get laid on Christmas. At least it's Mr. Goodnight. It's just one of them times of years when I always have trouble getting laid. It's not sexy, Christmas. I could make Christmas sexy. I went to an erotic Christmas time review called Sex is Santa and the Candy Cane Girls. And I'm not making this shit up. And they made me leave because I was out sexying both Sex is Santa and the Candy Cane Girls.
Was Sexy Santa a really muscular buff guy?
Yeah, and it wasn't my type, you understand. So I thought I was sexier because I have this lovability about me. Well, he was just like this
Some
buff
Tom
dude.
of Finland dude, yeah.
Yeah, no, Tom of Finland's better because Tom of Finland has a masculinity to it that I can really appreciate. This guy was just like...
I wonder if there was
blanding
any
out.
Tom of Finland. That would
I
be...
hope so. Santa'd be carrying quite a sack on Christmas time, you understand?
Mannheim Steamroller. That's some pretty sad Christmas music.
That's sad as music.
Because
altogether.
it's not only bad, but it talks about it basically implies the encroachment of modernity on everything and taking away all of our traditions and putting in a veneer of technology on there.
By
Yeah.
modernity,
Yeah.
you mean perennially the late 80s, right? Yeah.
It always sounded to me like, do you remember Starlight Express?
Yeah.
It was that play Andrew Lloyd Webber had with
Yeah.
people on roller skates pretend to be trains. It's like if them trains celebrated Christmas, the Mannheim Steamroller would be their Christmas song.
I really want to know what the Mannheim Steamroller guys do, let's say, in April or July.
Well, no,
Like, what's the
they
rest
were
of the
a
year
real,
like?
They were a real like kind of post krautrock band
Oh, okay.
that
and then they
like
just
just
found
got
their
on the
hence the
Christmas
name.
thing. Yeah,
And I've wrote it ever since.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
found their gimmick. You know, after lots of aborted gimmicks, you know, it's kind of like Kane.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Kane of music, where they were just like
That makes a lot of sense because I otherwise
The Christmas creature?
I was thinking, like you said, Brian.
Christmas
Yeah, he was the Christmas creature, so it's apropos you bring Kane up because Kane was a Christmas creature in Memphis. Memphis, for all y'all uninitiated there, was probably had some of the best Christmas stuff of any wrestling promotion.
Well, they had a guy that's now the wrestler Kane, and they put him in a green unitard and put like tinsel on him and that garland.
And he was a Christmas
He was
creature.
a Christmas creature,
And he was
yeah.
getting tinsel all over the ring when
Yeah.
he wrestled. And there's other Memphis Christmas greatest hits, too. There
That
was
man might be a senator.
Yeah.
Senator Kane. Well, shit. Democracy does not work, folks. But I mean, like, besides Kane, they had the time that they had the Fabulous Ones out there going do-do-do, do-do-do-do, both badly humming an a cappella version of Walking in a Winter Wonderland.
Were they dressed like sexy Santa Claus?
Oh, no, they were just dressed like their sexy fab self, like sexy Jackie Fargos. And also in the 70s, Memphis did a Christmas episode, and they had interviews with certain wrestling stars of Memphis at the time, like Jackie Fargo and Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee in their house. And Rocket Johnson was in Memphis at the time.
Yeah.
And so you see his household at Christmas with his 2-year-old son, Dewey, who would later become The Rock.
Yeah.
And this was something like 1976, I think, on Memphis TV. And it's actually The Rock's first ever appearance on a wrestling show.
12 sharpshooters stinging, 11 eyebrows raising, 10 spines a busting, 9 noggins knocking, 8 kicks a kicking, 7 punches punching, 6 suplex smashing, 5 seconds of the people chanting The Rock's name. 4 rock bottoms, 3 people's elbows on your 2 buck teeth, and an kicking all over New Orleans.
My vote for saddest Christmas song, Christmas in Prison by John Prine.
It was Christmas in prison, and the food was real good. We had turkey and pistols carved out of wood. And I dream of her always, even when I don't dream. Her name's on my tongue, and her blood's in my strain. Wait a while, eternity. Oh, my nature's got nothing on me.
It's so good, but it is also so fucking sad. And then the last line is, it was Christmas in prison, there'll be music tonight. I'll probably get homesick. I miss you. Good night.
I miss you too, Rivers.
I miss you too, buddy. It's so sad, but it's great. It's beautiful.
No, and a country song that can make you cry is a proper country song.
For a large group of people, as far as the American songwriter goes, it's Bob Dylan, and I'll accept that, and I agree with that. But then when you're in the discussion of like runner up to that, I think Prine is my vote.
What about Hank?
I mean, like I guess I should say like a contemporary of Dylan. You know, somebody who was releasing records at the same time. So John Prine's first record is 1971.
We got no love for Phil Oakes here, though.
Jamiroquai's British, right? Jamiroquai.
Neighbor Frank, could you stop with your snort?
It's the mistletoe, you understand. Yeah. Was Jamiroquai one person or was he a band?
It was a band.
It was a band.
J.K.
Yeah.
was the name of the guy with the fuzzy hat.
With the fuzzy
with
Kangol.
the cat in the hat that he bought at Spencer's Gifts.
Pat Sajak ruined Christmas for me as a kid. They had, when I was 6 years old, on Wheel of Fortune, because I was a diehard Wheel of Fortune watcher.
You're the Wheel Watchers Club.
Yeah. Taught me the alphabet when I was a kid.
You were born into the Wheel Watchers Club.
I watched an episode where the clue was fictional character for the last thing.
Ooh.
RSTLNE. Bing, 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 bing. It goes through, and the person goes, Santa Claus! And I was like, Mom, what does fictional mean? And she says, it means fake. And she didn't hear what it was. Right. And I was like, ooh. So I was in the car with my uncle and my mom and me, and I was like, Uncle Ted, is Santa Claus a fictional character? And he nearly drove off the fucking road.
That's like a Red
started
Sylvan
laughing,
song right there.
And Pat Sajak ruined Christmas for me. That dude won himself a Dodge Stealth, so he was happy. I wasn't happy because I found out that Santa Claus was fake. Pat Sajak, Merv Griffin, you guys are on my shit list forever.
It's amazing how many people, when Judgment Day comes, have sins to account for that they never even realize they committed.
Yeah. So what was the other sad song?
The other one is a song called Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis by Tom Waits.
Charlie, I'm pregnant, living on 9th Street, right above a dirty bookstore off Euclid Avenue. Now stop taking dope, I quit drinking whiskey. My old man plays the trombone, works out at the track.
She's telling him how her life is now. And then the last line is, Charlie, for Christ's sakes, if you want to know the truth of it, I don't have a husband. You don't play trombone. I need to borrow money to pay this lawyer. Charlie, I'll be eligible for parole come Valentine's Day. So it's a real bummer.
The inspiration behind that song was I knew this guy named Fred. And Fred was this guy that used to hang out at the watering hole with the swizzle sticks and the Naugahyde boots with the cuts in them. And he would wear Purina checkerboard slacks and be like, I know this hooker in Minneapolis, and she's my doll.
I can't think of a bigger kayfaber than Tom Waits.
Tom Waits,
he's probably
yeah.
the character that he created in his songs is completely. He
hate people
lives
like
that
that.
sort of thing. Yeah, these guys suck. But he lives that character, so he's probably just like the fiction and reality have melded, much like
We just got dinner at the Shoes and Socks restaurant. I had filet of athletic equipment.
I'm so goddamn horny that crack of dawn better watch it out around me.
That is magic.
That's a good one. Or
But if you try to fuck the sun, you'll burn your dick.
mine is
John, I think I can see my breakfast right now.
I was going to say can't find your waitress with a Gaga counter, but it's a good swerve. What can I say? It's misdirection.
champagne for my real friends, real pain for my sham friends. That's a good one.
Making a scene with a magazine with the swizzle sticks.
there's something he's obsessed with swizzle sticks and Naugahyde.
It's got that old kind of barroom or cocktail party theme or something.
Yeah.
Coming in with a Blur twist in the window.
I think there's almost no doubt that he is the best part of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I need lives. I need lives for the master. Master for what, master? The master will come, and he has promised to make me immortal. How?
It's not Goods from the Woods episode until there's a James Brown reference.
That's true.
My favorite Christmas song is by James Brown. And it's not the classic James Brown Christmas songs. This was one in the later James Brown era.
This is post Future Shock.
Oh yeah, this is towards the end of
Is it
his
post
time
Future
on
Shock?
Earth.
But
Oh, wow,
It's
this is-
post living in America then.
Oh, this is from 1999.
So it's almost post living.
Yeah.
And this one is
He died on Christmas.
He did
Yeah.
die on Christmas.
and this
Him
one
and
and
Joe Ford.
I played this one on Christmas, and it's called Funky Christmas Millennium.
Fuck yeah. Wow. Hell yeah.
This makes me want to shake my ass.
Yeah, the singers are probably even synthesized too.
They almost sound like P-Funk singers.
I know.
P-Funk sound like the whole neighborhood was just up in there singing with them.
Probably were.
Lift your hand up in the air. Let's welcome a brand new funky year.
Well, at least he didn't say wave them like you just don't
I was
care.
like, he had two lines, and he's like, "Hey, go back to this stuff."
he had me on the edge of my seat just then. I was trying to figure out where he was going with that.
At least he didn't go with the cliche. He figured he'd put twist on it.
So it's just essentially James Brown with a Casio keyboard,
Yeah.
and him just saying lines and phrases. And at one point, you just hear him just yelling, just random things. He's just like, cornbread, collard greens, just like yelling foods that you might eat at Christmas.
Yeah, in fucking Augusta, Georgia.
And then there's a part where he just really gets into it being the year 2000 because he just wants to get some sort of
I'm
like.
going to Augusta, Georgia for Christmas. You
Yeah.
understand? That's James Brown's hometown. They
And
got a statue.
So he
statue
wanted
up
to
there.
make the anthem for 1999 Christmas. Obviously, he failed because
Yeah.
you never heard it.
Well, because the anthem for 1999 Christmas, of course, was Will 2K.
Yeah,
The motherfucking Millennium.
exactly. So he's
Was
just.
that when Chris Jericho was doing that shit?
Yeah, well, that was Y2J, and that was a full, 9 to 10 months before the actual
It's a
So,
long program.
Millennium.
So he tried to get on to the gimmick thing, the novelty song thing with it. fell through, but it's just like he gets really into it being the millennium. He's just like, new millennium, just 2000 Christmas. Hi!
Well, people made a big thing out of that at the time. Let's get down to the brass tacks and things like this. Christmas time is about many things, but we can pretend it's about this and that, and the Who's and Whoville can pretend it's about this and that shit. But we all know what it's really about is just greed and getting toys.
Yeah.
So I won't ask y'all. Twas. I won't ask y'all. I have good dick, Sean. I want to ask y'all going around.
Like 'twas the night before Christmas?
No, like toys that you get on the night before Christmas. You open the next day and you play with them. They buy Mattel and shit like this. What is give me some favorite toys that y'all got on Christmas?
Well, everybody knows I love Jurassic Park, and the best thing I ever got in 1993 was the command center playset that had electric fences, and it had it was a giant box with a bunch of
Wasn't it just a retouched G.I. Joe play set that was redone for Jurassic Park or something like that?
No, it couldn't have been, because G.I. Joes were much smaller than the Jurassic Park action figures.
Okay, It wasn't a Hasbro thing.
No, it was Kenner, I believe. Yeah.
Kenner? I thought it was out of business by then.
Kenner's still in business.
But they're just part of Hasbro now.
Yeah, that's true. No, at the time, they were definitely in business. Because they made their nut with Star Wars, so they
nutted it up.
They were in
Star
business
Wars
for a good long time.
I remember getting many of them for Christmas. But let's go to Pat. Pat, I want to hear Christmas.
I've gotten a few things from Christmas that I actually liked. I'm one of the few kids that actually was stoked about getting the train set for Christmas. Ooh, I was really stoked about getting the train set. My godfather got me a train set. I put it together a couple of times, but I was just really into getting the toy set,
Pat
the
grew
train
up during
set.
the Depression.
It's the same year you got the tie, the briefcase.
Yeah, it was. It was the same time in which I got my my slingshot and my my stick in the wheel sort of toy. Yeah, train set. Ooh,
my abacus.
Yeah,
educational.
No, but the train set I was a huge fan of. I got the Lego. Oh God, what was it? Lego, the big, I never got the big Lego sets. I always used to get the small Lego sets and put them together, I could create kind of a one piece at a time sort of thing.
Right.
But I got the Lego loading docks. So
did it come with Lego longshoremen? And
it came with Lego longshoremen.
They have a Lego union.
It had the Lego Mafia.
Well,
a Lego Eugene Debs.
Non-union Lego guys. You cannot mix their parts with the bootleg Lego and things like that.
So I could. It was part of the On the Waterfront Lego series. So you could get the Lego limousine.
You push the button, it goes, "Oh, Charlie."
Yeah. I know.
Could have been a contender.
I was a big fan of that. I used to get a lot of Hasbro wrestling figures.
Yeah.
I got the ring.
I got the ring too.
Yeah.
Did your ring come with the Jim Ross?
No, this was prior to that stuff.
Oh, God.
Jim Ross was
you're showing your age.
Yeah, Jim Ross was still in the WCW
my
at the time.
My ring came with Gordon Solie. That's how old I am.
My ring came with American flag and belt, which my dog ate. My dog ate the belt. It could have eaten the American flag, and I would have been fine with it.
That's a patriotic dog, you understand?
Yeah.
How soon before the dog ate the belt? Was it just immediately?
5 months.
All right, can we swing over to?
But I did get. But the two figures that I got with it, I was mad that I didn't get Andre the Giant. I wanted Andre the Giant real bad, but that one was tough to find.
Yeah.
But I got $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in the green suit, in the teal suit. And I got
stripper tuxedo.
Yeah, but I got Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and I did not like
you
getting
got Big Boss Man.
Yeah, I ended up getting Big Boss Man. Dog ate the nightstick, but the dog didn't eat the shears for Brutus Beefcake.
Brutus Beefcake altogether.
Yeah, the dog had taste, man.
Can we swing over to Frank? I want to tell him something. Frank, I want to ask you something to begin with. The Hasbro WWF ring, was it not the best wrestling ring they ever made?
Yeah, probably.
And was this not because it was the right size to have G.I. Joe figures wrestle in it?
Yeah, that's it. Well,
I used to have starting lineup wrestling, action figures wrestle the wrestlers in there. So I did have Lawrence Taylor wrestle in that ring, teaming up with Wally Joyner, first baseman for the California Angels, to wrestle Demolition Axe.
Frank, I want to point out, used to wrestle with starting lineups. And every year in October, Reggie Jackson would win the world title. come November 1st, he dropped it. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. October, it's a terminal gimmick,
But it was a seasonal thing. It was like those tag team tournaments Ola would book every Thanksgiving at the Omni. But Frank, what's your favorite? Give us a Christmas toy memory.
Christmas toy?
Yeah.
Does Bob Dylan live at Budokan on tape count as a toy?
Frank, swing the microphone to somebody else.
What do you mean? So don't think twice?
It's your birthday.
No, that was Christmas. You don't think? Yeah, that was Christmas.
Oh, that's right, because I threw it in the snow. I hated it so much.
So don't think twice. It's all right. It's not always a reggae song.
Oh, we go way the hell back, man.
That's all right. Mom Only Bleeds is not always supposed to be a hard rock sounding like Neil Diamond type arrangement. No.
Oh my God, we could do a whole show about Dylan live at Budokan sometime. Have you ever heard it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, no, you know what the best part is? The Mr. Tambourine Man. It goes boom, bum, ba-dum, boom. And then it just starts going, the flute comes in and Dylan's like, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man.
More like
for
live
me.
at Budokan.
Cheap trick he ain't.
When you rooster crow and the break of dawn, look out your window, I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright, babe. Don't think twice, it's alright.
I don't know if y'all remember the He-Man. It was the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, of course.
Figure line. There was a bad guy monster called Modulok. And he was not like the regular action figures because he came in a box. Because Modulok was a monster who could change shape. And so this box just had he looked like a lobster man. And this box just had like tons of different body parts, so you could make him like a guy with two heads, or two different guys, or a guy with 4 arms, or a guy with 2 arms.
It's like a Mr. Potato Head, but a monster.
He was a lot. Thank you. He was a lot like a Mr. Potato Head, but he was like the Mattel,
like an evil
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah,
part of the evil horde, if you will, in the Masters of the Universe line. But he looked like a cooked lobster. But I'll tell you this: if there's anybody out there remembers this toy and this line, when you first got that toy, it was hard as hell. Like the knobs that you stuck the extra arms and legs on was so tight. It was hard.
So you could give him 4 arms, like he was a Hindu deity or something.
Yeah. He could change all kinds of shape. Modulok. We're talking
Hence
like
the name.
Christmas morning, like sun ain't hardly come up yet. Bliss. You got Modulok. You got the WWF LJ and wrestling figures. Maybe you got a couple of Transformers and some G.I. Joe. You were good. Modulok and Budokan. Exactly, Frank. You know, he might change the arrangements on you. That's the way it is.
I got my NES on Christmas, and I got Wild Gunman as a game, which is a great game where it's just a shoot 'em up, like kind of
I was in that game.
Quick draw. Yeah, you were.
I was a Mexican guy.
Yeah.
I was in that game. They actually used life models for that, and I wore my poncho when I was in that game.
So it was a quick draw game. And one of my favorite Christmas memories is my dad had a few pops and decided to play Wild Gunman, and he got pretty far in it. And then I remember my dad yelling at the guys that he was going up against. And when he finally lost, that and him yelling at the dog on Christmas Day, yelling at the dog and duck hunt.
Oh, that dog was a son bitch.
Yeah.
If I went duck hunting with a dog like that, I would be shooting the damn dog.
One of my favorite Christmas memories, I think I was 16. I had a friend who normally lived with his mom, but for whatever reason was spending Christmas with his dad. Still lived in the same town. And so he was at a different house, and he called me. He was like, hey, we're hanging out at my dad's house. You guys should come hang out. So me and a couple of friends went over there, and his dad comes out with a joint that was
That'd be a Merry Christmas.
a foot long.
That's a great twat.
I'm not kidding. It was a foot long.
Oh
like,
my
it
God.
Santa,
Did the dog eat the stash or something?
Yeah.
If you're listening out there, you know what I want for Christmas now.
Well, he comes out with it and he goes, boys, how about some Christmas cheer? And
how old were you? Like 12?
I was 16.
Was that mistletoe in his joint?
And so we got high. And while we're sitting around, he goes, hey, boy, how about you open up one of your Christmas presents? And my friend's like, oh, which one should I open? Daddy's just like, third one from the left, right in the middle of that tree there. Go ahead and open that bad boy up. And he opens it up.
Is it a bong?
It was a 2-gallon bottle of Carlo Rossi sangria. wine.
I want
And-
what he gets for Christmas.
Well,
That sounds like the best Christmas.
Here's the thing, like at the time, and we got fucking destroyed. At the time, I was like, this is awesome. Looking back, I realized I lived the moment in the Breakfast Club where Judd Nelson goes, you know what Dad got me? A carton of cigarettes. He said, smoke up, Johnny. I lived that moment for
Yeah,
real.
but did you get with, what the hell was her name?
Molly Ringwald.
Did he get with Molly
No,
Ringwald?
he didn't get with anybody.
Ali Sheedy. That's it, Ali
Did he
Sheedy.
get with Ali Sheedy?
Didn't he get with Ali Sheedy?
I don't think he got
Who
with
got with
anybody.
Ali Sheedy?
Nobody got with anybody, I don't think.
No, they got with people they had to, but it was love.
No, he
Keith
was,
Carradine had to have gone with somebody.
No, if you were-
David Carradine get with them on now?
if you recall, at the end of the movie, when they're playing Don't Forget About Me, he's in the football field by himself, and he raises his fist.
Well, that
and-
raised fist was
Yeah.
a sign of youthful rebellion.
He doesn't need
Like
no
for-
woman. This is a song I wanted to play. I think it's pretty awful, but I want everybody's opinion on it. And
Okay.
oh, hey, there's neighbor Joe. Hey, neighbor
Joe,
Joe,
what's up?
How's it going?
Have you been here all week?
4 or 5 days, probably.
So I'll ask neighbor Joe's opinion on this as well, and I'll just go ahead and give it a play here. It's called "The Marvelous Toy," and it's by the Chad Mitchell Trio.
I like the name.
When I was just a wee little boy, full of health and joy, one Christmas morning I received a marvelous.
Are they Irish?
They're folkies from the 60s.
Well, they have to pretend to be Irish, like Clancy Brothers.
Precisely.
And the first time I laid eyes on it, it became my heart's delight. It
Ooh.
would zip when it moved, bop when it stopped, brrr when it stood still.
bop
I
it?
never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will.
Well, they hadn't invented the bop it yet.
This,
They didn't have a name.
this sounds like a Dr. Demento song.
The first time that I picked it up, I had a big surprise. For right on its bottom were 2 big buttons that looked like big green eyes.
Ooh.
I first pushed
What
one,
could it be?
then the other, then I twisted its lid. And when I set it down again, this is what it did. It went zip when it moved, bop when it stopped, brrr when it stood still.
I hate this song.
This is
Yeah,
bad.
it is.
Is this like a skip it kind of thing where you put it around your foot and then you jump
Well, I
around
gotta
it?
say something. I think Rivers, you've thrown us a ringer here because this doesn't sound like it's actually a Christmas song. It's just a generic song about some stupid toy.
He says Christmas morning right there at the beginning.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that happened on Christmas that aren't Christmas themed.
Well,
That's
hey.
true, like Die Hard.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
People are still saying that like My Favorite Things is a fucking Christmas song when it's not.
Well, from The Sound of Music?
Yeah, these are a few of my
That
favorites.
doesn't
You know
even
what was
mention
in that?
Christmas, does it?
No, it doesn't, but people play that song at Christmas.
One of them girls grew up to be Penny on
Who?
Lost in
Who
Space.
plays that song?
The radio. The radio in my head. No, I don't
I
know.
don't believe
the fucking
you.
radio. No, you'll hear My Favorite Things at Christmas because it's a list.
Because they always play the really crappy Paul McCartney and Wings song. It's like simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Like, you know, it's like the beat from Jingle Dogs.
John kind of beat out Paul with the memorable Christmas music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George had a New Year's song. Ring in the old, ring out the new. Y'all never heard this one?
Ringo's was
Who
just
wants to
him
listen to
listening to
music?
simply having a wonderful
New Year's
Christmas
Day,
time
who wants to
and
listen to
drunkenly
music or
rambling.
hungover?
When it's Joe, well, it's a New Year's Eve, I guess, song or whatever. But I mean, you got to have some besides old Lang Syne up there, you know. When
Well,
you
why don't you play 1999? That's a New Year's.
Yeah, but the real 1999 was disappointing because I've said this before. But when Prince wrote that song, it was like 1982, and 1999 sounded like the most badass, futuristic, almost cyberpunk thing you could think of.
And then when 1999 rolled around, actually,
It was people dancing
rung
to Lou
in-
Bega.
No, it was rung in by Limp Bizkit doing a cover of 1999 on MTV.
That's
God,
the
really?
worst idea. I want to like go back in time to like MTV and just be like, really?
Yeah. Jesse Camp, really?
Jesse Camp. Yeah, when we do Worst Songs Volume 2, I'm bringing in Jesse and the 8th Street
I
Kids.
can't believe that Dave Holmes, who's a funny guy and knows music front and back,
a good comedian, too.
great comedian,
Yeah.
and then they bring in Jesse Camp, who's just a complete piece of garbage.
Well, if you recall, they also hired Dave Holmes in the back door, too, and kept him way longer than they kept Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of ended up winning.
When
I
was
think
this?
They did a Who Wants to Be a VJ competition in 1998, and the number one was a guy named Jesse Camp, who, if I recall, was like 18 or 19.
Yeah,
and he was like a druggy kid with like.
Yeah, it looked like he was missing teeth. He looked like a meth addict. You were like, that guy grinds his teeth.
He looked like the sexiest meth addict in the world, basically.
Yeah, and he weighed about 110 pounds.
Yeah,
he
and
basically looked like if Marilyn Manson took off his makeup and had a kid with Steven Tyler, that's him. And he would just be like, "Hey guys, I'm Jesse. How you doing?
And they gave me a show called Lunchtime with what was it? Lunch with Jesse.
I know.
Man. Yeah, he was awful. But then there was Dave Holmes right behind him, who's a good presenter.
Yeah, and
Isn't
new
he
music.
He's like on FX now, doing like some kind of weird movie thing.
He does a DVD on TV on FX now. But yeah,
God, that career just took a
whatever
a bank to hard left.
Not as bad as Jesse Camp,
Yeah,
who
Jesse-
took a bank to the right, very much like a Dale Earnhardt bank to the right.
He took a final check from MTV to the bank about 6 months after they hired him.
Is he dead? I'm not getting it. He died in a car crash?
No, he just was too shitty at his job. Like, America voted for the worst guy.
Yeah.
We
That's
know
why
democracy does
democracy
not
is-
work.
It's a prime example of why 14-year-old girls shouldn't get to make a decision ever.
Yeah, especially if it's based upon a company investing millions of dollars into a talent.
I feel like-
They had a music trivia section, and the only one he got was the cover of Appetite for Destruction. It was like Dave Holmes was cleaning up. He was cleaning up. He answered every question. It was like Rosie Perez in White Men Can't Jump, nailing every question. And then they just flash Appetite for Destruction. He rings in and he just goes, "Yeah, it's Appetite for Destruction."
The first 100 times you saw a Christmas story, you're like, it wouldn't be Christmas without it. Then like the next 1,000 it came on, you're like, God, I fucking hate this movie.
Well, it was like,
and then like the next time you're just
The
like,
only
well,
Christmas movie,
It's a Wonderful Life was like that because that used to be the thing that they just constantly marathoned, and now they're moving into the Christmas story.
Well, it's rights free too, so I'd imagine they'd play it more.
Yeah, well,
but it's
you know,
fantastic.
Well, here's the thing: it's got Don Reed, and God knows I would do all kinds of things with her. You know, what is it she wants? I'd pull the moon down for. But when it get to the point when I start doing this, what does she want, Mary? But when it get to the
Mr.
point,
Potter,
when it
you're a bastard.
Shit, man. I wish people would come in that door and just start throwing money around at me because I would have a damn good time on Christmas. But the point is, when it gets to the point where Nightmare Before Christmas, that's when we're going to be living in the tyranny of the 14-year-old girls again.
I don't even like that movie.
I've never seen more than a few minutes of it, and I really don't
The
give a
best
flying
Christmas
shit.
movie is still Ernest Saves Christmas. There's no ifs, ands,
Well,
or
the
buts
best
about
movie
it.
That
altogether,
is
maybe.
a damned good movie, but as far as Ernest movies go, it's Ernest Goes to Camp or Nothing.
Well, I don't know. Ernest Goes to Jail had more of a, like, this is for grown-ups feel.
I was always a scared stupid man myself.
How about Slam Dunk Ernest with Ernest and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Ernest was a great man.
He's from Alabama.
There you go.
That's right.
There's one on you. Ernest and Bo Jackson.
Yep.
Former Shakespearean actor, but
Bo Jackson?
No, Jim Varney.
Varney, yeah.
Went to Morehead State and then became part of the Shakespeare Company of Kentucky, which I don't know
that's
how good of a good
prestigious.
accolade that is.
That's like the Royal Shakespeare Company.
How could
right
you
there.
not like him? He's the only person I can think of that went from, know what I mean, Burn, to a full-fledged career. He took a one-line and like I think even regional commercials probably and turned that into being a huge movie star.
It went from regional to national to then like movie stardom through that.
Although if you want to see something horrible, watch Jim Varney do stand up as Jim Varney later on in his career.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
god.
talks
He has
really
like
slow.
He has a pencil thin mustache and he's wearing this like shirt that he must have stole off of Harvey Keitel's character and
I remember he did like a Roseanne.
in Taxi Driver. And he's just like, you gotta understand something about mother-in-laws. They're only good for one thing. And it's just like, what are you talking about?
He doesn't mumble. He sounded like remember that cartoon with like the Hillbilly Bears? He sounded like Paul Rugg. Remember Paul Rugg?
Cartoon Christmas specials, in my opinion. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas takes the cake.
Grinch was a sick fuck.
That
you know,
is a
sneaking
solid,
into children's houses
solid
at night.
movie.
And it's Boris Karloff.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. That's an issue I have with modern television. The Grinch used to be on once a year, And everybody watched it that one night that it was on, and it was special. Now they marathon it for like 24 hours on your TNT and shit like this, and it is just not the same thing.
They don't marathon The Grinch. The ones they marathon are A Christmas Story, and I remember maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and God bless FX for doing it. They marathoned while The Christmas Story is going on TNT. FX marathon Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. And I have never been more on board with anything.
I like
because I will actually watch that movie.
It's always Sunny Christmas special. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Christ. Oh God, yeah.
And then
you fuck my mom, Santa Claus.
Yeah, let's go through rocks and trains.
So good.
That's really good. And then my most favorite Christmas movie has to be hands down White Christmas. I don't care if it is weird and goofy and old and fogey or whatever, but White Christmas to me, it's not Christmas unless I have to sit through White Christmas.
But dancing girls and it got them big hips and all that stuff too.
Yeah, that one girl in White Christmas is the scariest looking woman ever. Like she's like anorexic skinny, but she has big hips, so you can tell it like bothers her. So she's like everything on her is skin and bones, but her like crazy big hips are popping out.
But have y'all ever seen Santa's Sleigh?
No, what's that?
It's a horror movie with like an evil Santa, and Goldberg plays him.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg?
Yeah,
Does he yell, "Who's next?" after the kids get on his lap?
There's a part of the beginning where
he doesn't sell the bad Christmas cookies.
He kills a bunch of people at the beginning, including Fran Drescher. And
So
I think
far,
was
so good.
James Caan in the damn thing,
I think
too?
so, yeah.
I
That
think
sounds
James
like something
Caan is in that
James
scene,
Caan
too.
would be in.
And who the hell is the other guy in it?
Are we talking about that or Elf?
No, this is Santa's Sleigh.
My Christmas
Is Slay
joint.
spelled SLAY?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a good movie. My man Garrett had us all watch it a couple of Christmas Eves ago. I was like, oh, this is going to be shit. And then at the end of it, I was like, this is a good fucking movie.
Are you a big fan of Santa with muscles there?
No.
In the season of Santa, there are two kinds of people. The naughty and the nice.
I got $50 for the first elf that brings me a Santa Claus.
Hulk Hogan is Santa with muscles.
Hulk Hogan plays this rich guy who uses his money to be a total jackass. Yeah. And he likes to shoot. He's obsessed with paintball for some reason. And he's like shooting cop cars with paintball guns in his like Jeep Wrangler. And then he gets chased.
Put him up to it.
He got chased, so it creates a police chase. And the cop that's chasing him, one of them is Clint Howard. And Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother, who, so the police chase, he basically at one point pulls out a bazooka from his police car and tries to shoot Hulk Hogan's car, which is an obvious excessive force charge.
Maybe he was one of them guys from Streets of Rage.
And he missed. And he blew up like something else, like an ice cream truck or something.
Was it Tackleberry from Police Academy?
I have no idea. Hulk Hogan runs into a mall, right, to get away, climbing through an air conditioning duct, falls out, lands on his head. He gets amnesia, as you do when you fall on your head in stupid movies.
Yeah.
And the Santa Claus had quit, so the dude that's playing the elf is like, I don't want to get fired. I need to find me a Santa Claus. Oh, there's this big palooka right here with no memory.
And a skullet.
Yeah. You're Santa Claus. You know? Nobody will know that you have a skullet if you're wearing that Santa hat.
Is this the one where Hogan has the no mustache?
No, that's Secret Agents Club.
Okay.
I gotta say, you're selling this movie, though. I kind of want to watch it.
So he has to save. He's Santa Claus, and then this girl, like the angelic blonde girl with the big, huge eyes, is like, for Christmas, all I want is to have my orphanage safe. And he goes to the orphanage, right? And it's the littlest orphanage where it's 3 kids and Garrett Morris from SNL and the lady that runs.
Well, hold on. Was this an orphanage or was this the Downtown Comedy Club?
I think it could be either one. Garrett Morris's Downtown Comedy Club and restaurant and blues bar.
I've been there. It's a great place.
So
there's no blues, no nothing. It's
So
just Garrett
anyway,
singing.
they find out that an evil doctor played by Ed Begley Jr. wants to destroy the orphanage.
How does this cast get together for such a shit movie?
I don't know.
Wasn't this direct to video?
Yeah, it's direct to video, and it only gets played on Turner South. I think that's the only station that ever plays.
It sounds like they just had a wall with every actor in Hollywood, and they threw 10 darts at him.
Hogan. But here's the thing. Here's the Hogan nepotism. Hogan has to face off with the
Nasty
evil
Boys?
the evil minions of Dr. Ebenezer Frost, who is Ed Begley Jr.
Okay.
An evil dentist, an evil manicurist, and an evil acupuncturist who is this guy that is wearing like the Charlie Chan makeup to make him look like he's Asian, even though he's white.
Oh, no.
And he is played by none other than Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Ed Leslie. With the chopsticks in his hair.
What year is this? 1920 fucking
1993. And the reason why, and I'm going to spoil the fudge out of this movie. The reason why the evil Ed Begley Jr. wants to get this is that underneath the orphanage is a cave, and in this cave are radioactive Fraggle rocks that when they hit the ground, they explode. Like they're the most explosive, combustible thing on the planet.
Well, that's not a good thing to
they
put
called
an orphanage on
Fraggle
top
rocks
of.
though? That's got
No,
be
but they
some
look
kind
like
of
Fraggle
copyrighted.
rocks.
Oh.
They look like Fraggle
What do
rocks.
you mean like the rocks the Fraggles lived in?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not actually
Oh,
Fraggle
I thought
Rock.
you meant the Muppets. There was,
Yeah.
I was like, that
No.
movie just took a weird
Because
turn.
Fraggle Rock was actually their city, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I call anything that they look for Fraggle rocks. So here's the logical flaw in it. They have the final fight between Hogan and Ed Begley Jr., which I don't know why Bischoff didn't book this for Road Wild. They had a fight, and at one point they take two of the Fraggle rocks that look like the Darth Maul
Double
lightsabers, yeah, and they start hitting each other with them and do like a stick fighting thing, ignoring the fact that when these things hit the ground, they friggin' explode.
Well, it was
They
actually,
ignore that fact.
Wasn't this before the Phantom Menace there?
Yeah, so they actually thought of this
yeah,
beforehand.
They ripped it off to Phantom Menace. From
But
Phantom
what
Menace.
happens is one of the rocks hits the ground, orphanage explodes, and Hulk Hogan arises from the ashes because he won't sell anything, including an explosion.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, my orphanage is gone. And Garrett Morris is like, I'm back to living in my car. And Hulk Hogan's like, no, brother, you're going to live in my mansion, dude. And they live in the mansion, and I think his character's name is Blake.
This is a Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie.
With no resolution for homeless children.
And
No, they move up to the big house.
They live in his mansion.
And to the worst part is there's this one kid that's like, you're not Santa Claus. You're better. You're Santa with muscles. And Hogan wears a sleeveless Santa Claus outfit,
Fuck
of
yeah, he
course, because he's Hogan.
He's allergic to sleeves.
He's allergic to sleeves.
I think the sleeves would cut his circulation off.
Yeah.
Well, when you got the
Did you ever think
brother.
Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
It's a hard life.
It is not.
It's
easy
a hard
to
knock life when you live in the world's littlest orphanage, brother.
I think Pat just ruined Christmas for everyone.
Neighbor Joe, do you have any Christmas memories?
I got a good mom burn.
Okay.
Like 5 Christmases ago. I've always been a chubby person. It doesn't bother me. I like candy. It's delicious. So I've always been a chubby person. And one year I told my mom, I was like, all I want is an iPod. That's all I want. This is like when my iPods first came out, I guess. I'm like, all I want is an iPod. That's all I want. Don't get me anything else. If you don't want to get me anything at all, that's cool. But if you do get me something, I want an iPod. And so she's like, okay. And then Christmas comes and I have like 8 iPod shaped boxes under the Christmas tree. And so I'm thinking to myself, holy God, this is going to be the best Christmas ever. So I start opening the presents Christmas Day and they're all clothes. And they're all 4 sizes or 5 sizes too small. Right? Like skinny clothes.
Like the Grinch's heart.
Yeah. And so I'm like, Mom, why did you get me clothes? And if you got me clothes, why are they, all too small for me? And she goes, for when you lose all the weight. Christmas fucking Day.
Wow.
That's a boot in the balls.
A friend of mine, his dad bought his brother a girdle for Christmas.
Where do you even find those anymore?
I have no idea.
Well, they have those Spanx.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
a girdle.
but yeah. I guess they got all those like them kinky ones. That
Yeah.
you buy
This
in,
was
like,
the
Fredericks
this
and
was the
Hollywood.
'90s though, so I imagine they were still made of like they were like a whalebone corset.
Whalebone
kind of
was
thing.
Or you could buy it like with your Playtex Cross Your Heart bras over at Drug Barn. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
I hope
From
Neighbor
all of our
Frank
hearts.
comes down. you
Neighbor
know.
Frank will be fine because it's Christmas time and the spirit of Christmas is here for one at Disgraceland Studios and indeed all over the earth tonight. So if you see the fat man come down your chimney, this ain't a B&E, Daddy. Get him some milk and cookies.
Mr. Goodnight last looked out on the feast of Patrick. I wish I had more for that.
You
I
were
love
going
that
in the
song.
right direction.
I like any Christmas song that deals with events in medieval Poland. Merry Christmas, everyone.
The Goods from the Woods is mixed and edited by me, Rivers Langley, and distributed by Westcast Network. Our theme song is composed by DJ Smiles. You can find him online at djsmiles.net.